Friends, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Tashi, and on this channel I like to talk about all things crochet, sit down videos, vlogs, tutorials, market prep, market vlogs, literally anything crochet. So if that's something you're interested in, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. It really helps my channel grow, and I have a goal of hitting 10K before my birthday. Birthday is on October 4th, so let's hit that goal, guys. Let's hit that goal. Make sure you subscribe. This is a highly requested video that I get over on my TikTok and my Instagram. Since I've been posting my crochet covered Crocs and I've been adding my beads to them for my strap covers onto my Crocs, everyone's like, how do you add beads to your Crocs? How do you attach the beads onto your Crocs? So yes, today's video is how to add beads onto your Crocs, and it's gonna be very simple. This is the way I like to do it. I know there's other tutorials out there that use other materials, but this is just what works for me. We're gonna go ahead and jump right into it. I'm gonna be using these super cute lava platform Crocs. I bought a chain to go around these Crocs for the first time, and I've never added a chain to my Crocs, but I'm excited to add chains to these since they're so like electric and they're super jazzy, so I'm excited. But yeah, these are the Crocs I'm gonna be attaching my beads to. Let's get started. The materials I'll be using for today's tutorial include a pair of Crocs, some beads, a pair of scissors, a lighter, nylon cord, or you can use wire, whichever one you prefer. This is just what I prefer. It makes it a little bit more flexible when I put it onto my Crocs. I also have these chains here that I picked up at Michael's. You do not have to add chains, but if you do, this is just a pre-made set that I can link down below for you guys. If you do not have these pre-made sets, what you can do is just buy the clasp itself. Again, I will link that down below, and just a little ring. What you would do is just attach your ring onto your clasp here and attach your thread or your wire to this little ring here. But in today's tutorial, I'm going to be attaching my thread onto that little loop right there. So that's why I wanted to show you guys this, because this is what we would be attaching our beads to on our threads, is to this little ring here that also is connected to a clasp. But it has to be this big of a clasp so that it fits around your Croc strap on this little piece here when we remove this strap. I will link everything in the description box below for you guys, so you guys can check all of those details out on the sizing of your clasp, the cord, and the wire if you wanted to use the wire. But let's go ahead and get started. You want to go ahead and take off your strap on your Croc. So what I like to do is just turn it to its side, and then to make it more easier, I just like to pull this way. So pull and then lift up, and it should just pop right off like that. And you're going to do that on the other side. You're going to pull this way and pop your strap off, and it should just come right off. I'm going to go ahead and set my Croc strap aside so that I don't lose it. This is very important because if you don't have a clasp that's big enough, it will not fit around this ring here. Even if you open it up and put it on like this, that's just too much work for me. So I just like to hook it on like that. And then once you add your strap back on to this part here, this should not be able to come off just because it'll be smushed up against the strap and the Croc, and it won't go anywhere. I'll show you that at the end of this video. To make these beads on your Crocs completely removable, you do need something like this. Go ahead and attach it on the other side like that. So it's just gonna be hooked on there like this. And go ahead and reattach my strap. If you did not have a pre-made chain like this, what you would do is just take your clasp, take this little piece here, open it with your fingers like this, and then you would hook it through this piece here like that, okay? But for this video, since I have it pre-made and I'm attaching my nylon thread to that piece right there, I do not need to add any more pieces. But if I didn't have this chain, I would just attach it there, and then I would attach my nylon thread or my wire to this little ring piece here. Sometimes adding the strap back on is a little bit tricky, but it can be done like this. And you see how this isn't going anywhere? This isn't going anywhere because this is up against the Croc and the strap. I'm gonna bring that down a little bit, and I'm gonna move to the other side and attach my other side of my strap onto my Croc here. Again, this is a little bit tricky, but it's just how it works for it to be removable. If you didn't mind them being not removable, just wanted to put them on in an easier way, what you can do is just take your cord or your wire and just wrap it around that piece underneath this strap part, tie a knot and just add on your beads, and then tie on the other piece right behind this strap part on the other side. Here we're gonna go ahead and take our cord or our wire, and we're just gonna measure out how long we want it to be. I'm gonna make it right above my chain, so I want it to be a little bit shorter, not too long to where it hangs underneath my chain, but just short so that it sits right on top. So I'm gonna go ahead and leave some room on each side so that I can tie it off. So about this long. I'm gonna go ahead and take my cord and put it through this little hole here. I'm gonna put it right through that little loop there of my clasp. So not this piece, just the little clasp piece. And I'm going to tie a knot. So I'm just gonna tie a regular knot just to secure it on there. Once you've tied it onto your little clasp there, you're gonna go ahead and take your scissors and cut it down just a little bit so you have a little bit of a tail end like this. Take off that extra yarn like that, and you should have a little bit of a tail like this. Now this is a very risky thing to do, but this is what I like to do just because I want to make sure it doesn't come undone. I'll take my lighter and just light this up a little bit so that it has a plastic ball at the end, so that the knot cannot come undone, because there's going to be a little ball at the tip of this little tail end. So I'm going to go ahead and do that just a little bit, and then that's it. It should create a hard piece of plastic right at the top, right there. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it is very hard now. And if that were to come down to this little knot, it should not come undone. You're gonna go ahead and add the beads to your Crocs. You wanna have your beads pre-picked out and your words pre-picked out. And I don't have a measurement of how many beads I do on each side because my words always change and some words are longer than others. And so for the words to line up, you need to add and take off some beads on each side so that the word lays right in the middle. So I'll show you what I do. Now, if you are working with the nylon cord, I highly recommend lighting the tip so that it's hard, so that it's easier to get through the little beads, but it shouldn't give you a problem if you're going through with these big beads. It should go right through. But for me, I'm using a ton of these little beads, so I need this here to not flare on me. So I'm gonna go ahead and just light that up a little bit, and then I'm gonna take my fingers and rub it in a circle like this, so it kind of creates a point there. So from here, I'm gonna go ahead and just put on my beads as I go. And then I always remember when I'm putting my beads on to look and see where my beads are starting to sit at, and my words should take up about this much space. So I should be able to put about 4 more beads on there. That lays perfectly. So I'm going to go ahead and add the rest of my beads until I get to this little ring on this side so that I can tie it off and start the next croc. Now that I have my beads to my liking, I'm gonna go ahead and just take my extra cord here and put it through that clasp again, that little loop on the clasp, and I'm going to just tie a knot like we did for the other side. I like to pull it tight just to make sure everything is how I like it, like this. I like my chain to dangle lower than my words here, so that's about how I like it. And then again, I'm just gonna tie knots. So this is pretty like self-explanatory. You're just gonna go ahead and tie the knots off. And then like we did with the other side, we're gonna melt down this side also so that it doesn't come undone. Cut that down. And then I'm going to light up the end here, like this, and then tuck it behind the little clasp area. So that is how I like to attach my beads. I'm gonna go ahead and put my other beads onto this crock, and I will show you what the final results look like. Alright, and that is the tutorial on how to add beads to your Crocs. If you found this video helpful or like content like this, go ahead and subscribe to my channel and like this video so it reaches a wider audience. But that is all for now, and until next time, bye guys!